welcome back to another Coaster Cheetah video. In this video, I'll be ranking my top 10 favorite roller coasters as of October 2023. I have ridden 105 different roller coasters across the United States, and I was able to ride a ton more coasters than last year's list. Starting off the list at number 10 is Millennium Force at Cedar Point. This coaster is a blast from start to finish. While it isn't very intense, you will be 310 feet in the air and experience speeds up to 91 miles per hour. The long ride experience of flying over hills, turns, and overbanks is euphoric as you zoom through tunnels and over the path. The world's first Giga Coaster still holds up as a great coaster and one of the best rides at Cedar Point to this day. I absolutely love this ride's soundtrack, as well as the freeing trains and restraints. At number 9 is Goliath at Six Flags Great America. While this is a short ride, each and every element is amazing. The short ride duration is this coaster's biggest downside, but it can also be a plus due to the good pacing. The airtime on the drop and the two ejector hills is elite, and the hang time on the stall and the dive loop are phenomenal. This coaster looks very imposing as you walk up to it, with the Roman archways and the steel truss lift hill. And number 8 is Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. This GCI blew me away. I knew it would be good, but not that good. The pacing and airtime is absolutely relentless, and the tunnel is piercing. I also really like the theme for this coaster. The drop in the back is incredible, from lift to brakes. Mystic Timbers never lets up. It is one airtime hill after another, whether it's going through the woods or over the rapids. You truly feel like you are in the woods trying to escape from something. This coaster is just plain fun no matter how many times you ride it. This is also the smoothest wooden roller coaster I've ever ridden, which made it extremely rare rideable. At number 7 is Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Intamin delivered an exceptional and extremely underrated coaster in my opinion. While Pantheon's theming was a huge missed opportunity, there isn't much else to complain about. The inversions are both full of hang time, and the airtime hill in between the second launch section is one of the strongest moments of airtime I've ever felt. The launches are all good, and I really like the name, logo, and color scheme. The trains also look great, and they're very comfortable. Pantheon is the best coaster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and it is a great ride that I feel like is often overlooked by the coaster community. Next at number 6 is Maverick at Cedar Point. This coaster has it all. 2 launches, 2 inversions, an extremely intense ride experience, and a good duration. This ride immediately starts off with a launched lift hill into an amazing beyond vertical drop. Maverick's quick directional changes and second launch is absolutely polarizing as you blast out of the tunnel. While the horseshoe roll is good, it's not the best part of the ride. The ejector hill is fun, and the stangle dives are breathtaking. Maverick single-handedly ended the coaster wars by proving that a coaster doesn't have to be the tallest, fastest, longest, or steepest to be the best. And number 5 is Lightning Rod at Dollywood. Lightning Rod is without a doubt one of the most unreliable roller coasters of all time. It isn't always guaranteed that you'll get a ride on Lightning Rod when you're visiting Dollywood, but when you do, it's glorious. Every second of this ride is spectacular. The launch up the mountain is fantastic. The drop that follows is even better. You plunge down 165 feet off the mountain, then into an airtime-filled layout with one of the best airtime moments of all time, the quad down. It almost seems as if you gain more speed as you twist up and rocket down into the brakes. Unfortunately, Lightning Rod will never be the same next year. Dollywood is currently renovating the ride by removing the launch in exchange for a standard chain lift. While the launch will be sorely missed, this change will definitely benefit the park a lot. At number 4 is Skyrush at Hershey Park. I'm a big fan of intense coasters, and Skyrush is without a doubt the most intense coaster I've ever ridden. Sitting on a wing seat in the back row is unlike any other ride. You are viciously yanked down one of the best drops in the world, then thrown into several strong airtime hills and powerful overbanks. Skyrush unfortunately does have one major flaw, the restraints. Skyrush's restraints are infamous for being tight and uncomfortable. While I personally don't mind them nearly as much as other people do, they still aren't good at all. The fact that Intamin was able to fit a hypercoaster in that small of an area is astonishing. Skyrush is easily my favorite traditional hypercoaster that I've ridden. At the bottom of the top 3 is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. When it opened in 2018, Steel Vengeance was widely considered to be the best roller coaster ever built. While that is no longer true for most people, Steel Vengeance absolutely still holds up and is loved by coaster enthusiasts and the GP alike. Steel Vengeance is a seemingly endless mess of twisted steel track and wooden supports. Steel Vengeance's only issue is the mid-course brake run, which unfortunately does kill the momentum. Even while being the first ever RMC Hyper Hybrid coaster, Steel Vengeance still holds the record for having the most airtime of any coaster. Steel Vengeance has a daunting wood structure and is sure to bring joy to anyone who is brave enough to conquer the wildest coaster at Cedar Point. At number 2 is Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Saying that number 1 and number 2 was close is an enormous understatement. I'm sure a lot of you are shocked to see Iron Gwazi at number 2, but after a lot of thought and back and forth, I finally decided to put North America's tallest, fastest, and steepest hybrid coaster at the number 2 spot. Being delayed for several years and still managing to exceed people's expectations is no small feat. Iron Gwazi is a truly special ride from top to bottom. The beautiful purple track and silver steel truss gets you ready for the absolutely mind-blowing experience you're about to have. As you plunge down the best drop on any RMC, you are met face to face with non-stop intensity and insanity. The signature death roll is one of the best inversions on the planet, and the wave turn is one of the best airtime moments on any coaster. Iron Gwazi has 0 dead spots, and it flies into the brakes at an unreal pace. Iron Gwazi has the best pacing on any coaster that I've ever ridden. And finally, at the number 1 spot, my favorite coaster is none other than Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. Velocicoaster is much more than just a roller coaster. It is a full journey. Velocicoaster is no question one of the most themed coasters on Earth, and it doesn't just end in the queue. The entire first half of the ride is complete with brilliant rockwork, foliage, and raptor statues. Everything about this coaster looks great. The stunning black track with the sleek trains look amazing, especially at night. Velocicoaster's first half is immaculate, but it's just getting started. The second half is filled to the brim with some of the world's best elements, one of those being my favorite coaster inversion, the Mosasaurus roll. The amount of interaction on this ride is just mind-boggling, and I love everything about Velocicoaster, and I have no complaints. Besides, I wish the line was shorter. I believe that this is Intamin's masterpiece, and will also go down as one of the greatest rides ever built. That will finish off my list of my top 10 favorite roller coasters as of 2023. Comment down below what you thought of this list, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.